Investing legend Charlie Munger once said that the first 100K is the hardest, but Charlie was completely wrong. People today are burdened by credit cards, student loans, and relentless housing payments. Nowadays, it's actually the first $10,000 that is the hardest to get to. So how can you fix this? How can we get 10K locked away faster than Usain Bolt on a rocket ship? In this video, I'm not only going to tell you how you can easily add 10K to your investing account, but also how to tackle the obstacles you're gonna face and then leave you with a super hack to speed up the whole process. People say that Rome was not built in a day, and every marathon starts with a single step. So how do we start our own marathon on a road to riches? Well, it all starts with setting an easier target. Let's say you want to invest 10K this year. We need to break that figure down to a more manageable amount. 10K in a year breaks down to $833 in a month, $191 in a week, $27.40 in a day, or $1.40 an hour. And since we cannot work 24/7, let's just disregard this hourly figure. Instead, I think it's important for us all to focus on a manageable figure, which is $27.40 per day. The math is pretty simple. If you want to add 10K to your net worth this year, then the daily number you have to achieve is $20.40. This should be your main focus. Now, there are three simple ways to achieve $27 extra a day. One is earn it through a side hustle. Number two is to budget better. And three, the best option, a mix of the two. Now, cutting back on your expenses does suck. I feel you. We all need that Netflix and chill. But if we can figure out a way to lower this $27 a day without doing any physical work, it's going to make our whole task a hell of a lot easier. And that is why budgeting is so important. According to a Workonomics survey, Americans spend about $1,000 a year on just coffee. And a more recent survey found that 2/3 of Americans buy lunch at work rather than packing it at home, which comes out to a staggering $54 a week or $2,600 a year. Adding these two together, it works out at about $74 a week in spending just on coffee and workplace food. If we can somehow budget better and half just these two aspects, that $27 is now less than $20 a day we actually need to get 10K invested. To hammer this point home, I had a one-on-one call recently with a viewer who worked in a big restaurant while they were at university. The restaurant was a high-end steakhouse and it was right next to a big financial house. I'm not going to name names. BlackRock. He said that on the days he worked, he would watch these suits come in and spend about $70 a day every day just on a decent meal. And a lot of them would even come in for breakfast and morning coffee, which came to about $12. The shocking thing is, a lot of these people were lower-level employees trying to catch a boss or look like some form of big shot. Many of them would go in 3 days minimum a week just to look the part of their title. We then did the mathematics behind this. These individuals would spend about $2K a year getting into work if they had a car or took an Uber. If you include transport and the cost of these meals, these people, these financial experts, were working a 9 to 5 for less than $2 a day. Mental. They had still not figured out that they actually go to work to earn money, not to spend it. So you need to figure out a way to make your work time as economically beneficial as possible. Work should not be a comfortable arena. That's what your home is for. And a side note here is you can actually earn extra income while you're at work. When I started out in my financial journey, I worked in a big office building with over 200 people. I used to sell Red Bull at $2 a can, making easy double money. You would probably think that not many people would pay $2 for a Red Bull, but people used to need to use a card to get in and out of the building. And the lower level people who want to, flash off to the boss and show that they can afford a Red Bull can't leave the building because it would show up on the cameras and it would show up on their key card that they're constantly leaving to go to the shop. So it's easier to come to my floor, buy a Red Bull from me, and I used to make some easy extra cash every single day. I'm not joking. I used to sell at least 10 Red Bulls every single day, and on a Friday, I'd be completely sold out. This amount of money used to pay for my own lunch just from selling Red Bull at a desk I'm already sat at. It was only $10, $15 profit every single day. Nothing to brag about. Those people who bought that Red Bull, most of them I see on LinkedIn are still working at that same office. I'm sat here in a cold garage, freezing my nuts off with a net worth of about $8 million. Moving on to our goal, $27 a day. Now that we're budgeting a little less, let's talk about income. And again, not income from your current job. And it is super important to do this. this. If you truly want to have financial freedom, you must not rely on your job. Your job can be taken away from you. There is no millionaire on planet Earth that has just one stream of income. In fact, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income, and the quicker you realize this, the better. Get a side gig or a hustle and grow it. It's not just financially beneficial, it's actually morally rewarding, and you will find yourself shifting and wanting to shift to that baby that you're growing yourself. In the office I mentioned earlier where I was selling Red Bull, there was another guy called David, and he ran a 45-minute spin class every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the gym that was down on the ground floor. The bikes in this place were full every single day that he ran a class, and he used to make around about $90 every lunchtime he ran a class. And the best part, he was actually saving time because he wouldn't need to go and work out the day he ran the class. The moral of the story is find a way to make side money. If you can scrape off $27.40 a day in 1 year, you will have 10K. That's fine. But if you can do this for 20 years and invest it into an index fund that returns 10% a year, this 10K suddenly transforms into $500,000. It's literally math, and that's simple. Now, you do have some things holding you back from earning extra income and budgeting correctly. I'll give you that, but let's list them off right now. The big one, number 1, dreamers versus doers. The reality is, majority of people watching this video are dreamers. It's an unfortunate fact, but on YouTube and social media, people would rather watch a video like this one looking for a shortcut or a cheat code than actually doing the work that's needed. I'm not the guy who's going to tell you this is going to be easy. Stop being fucking lazy, put in the effort, and get richer. It's that simple. Number 2 is I cannot build Excel and I cannot budget correctly. Look, here's a freebie. Subscribe to my newsletter below, email me, and I'll give you my own Excel absolutely free. 0 excuses. Number 3 is a legitimate excuse. I do not have the time to do a side hustle. Now, this is, again, a real issue, and I'll show you how to deal with time in a future video. Many influencers will just go on sleep less or work harder, be more efficient, stop watching Netflix and all the other bullshit. Here's an easier hack. Find a way to monetize what I call dead brain time. If you commute to work on public transport, find a side hustle you can do on the tube or on a bus or however you get to work. This could be as simple as scheduling tweets for the business you already work at. Approach them and say, can I run your Twitter account for some extra bucks? You can pay for an app like Tweet Fury and even schedule this months and months in advance. If you drive to work, listen to an audiobook or offer a rideshare for some money. Monetize your dead brain time where you are least efficient. By doing this and having a mindset like this, it's also going to free up a lot more time for you later, where you could also monetize better and do your side gig. An example here is I personally make as many phone calls as I can in traffic on my way into the office. This frees up 4 hours a week minimum, meaning when I'm at my desk, I can fully focus on money making without any distractions from an annoying auntie or a phone call from my mother. Remember, the goal in hand, folks, is to get $27.40 a day for the next 12 months. And if you want to get there even faster, then watch this video next where I pick up Elon Musk in Scotland.